Those ranchers that have fall calving herds may be developing a few replacement heifers to be bred later on this fall. As we go through the fall with those young heifers, a couple of things I think we want to keep in mind. Number one, we want them big enough and in good enough body condition at the start of the breeding season where we have a high percentage of them cycling so we can get them bred early in that breeding season. And that means to me that we need to have all of those heifers weighing at least 60% of their mature weight. And if we do the math, if these eventually are going to be 1,200 pound cows when they're fully grown, that means these replacement heifers need to weigh about 720. All of them do going into the start of the breeding season. Now I realize that a lot of smaller ranches don't have scales available to check the weights of the heifers as they go through the fall, but they can take a good look at the heifers to make sure that they're in a good body condition as they come out of this summer with good lush grass, and make sure that those heifers going into that breeding season are in that body condition score of a 6 in our 1 through 9 scale. That means that that heifer is going to be smooth to look at. She's going to be bloomy in ranchers' terms as we get into that time of the year, say late November, early December, when the breeding season begins. So making sure those heifers are on track nutritionally to be in that body condition score 6 at the start of the breeding season is a real key. The other thing that I would suggest to you is that you visit with your local veterinarian about which immunizations you want to give these replacement heifers before the start of the breeding season. Certainly most replacements need vaccinations for BVD and IBR, the two respiratory diseases that are so important in terms of reproduction of beef cattle. Visit with your veterinarian about which form of those vaccinations and when they need to be given before the start of the breeding season. A couple other things you may want to visit that veterinarian about are the reproductive diseases lepto and campylobacter, sometimes called vibriosis, and ask about the situation in your area about the need for vaccination for those two diseases before those heifers go into that upcoming breeding season. Make sure they're in good body condition, that body condition score 6 at the start of the breeding season, and they're properly immunized, and I think you'll have a more successful breeding season and a better outcome in terms of adult cows as we go ahead and grow them out over the next year or so. Hey, we look forward to visiting with you again next week on Sunup's Cow-Calf Corner.